Hello, guys. Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about cleaning and prayer. We're going to use the children of Israel as a case study. So, our Bible text for today will be taken from the book of Numbers, Numbers 11, verse 1. I think I'll read 2, then I'll read 4 to 6. So, it reads, it says, "And the people complained in the hearing of the Lord about their misfortunes. And when the Lord heard it, his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed some outlying part of the camp. Then the people cried to Moses, and Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire abated. So the name of the place was called Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burned among them. 4. It says, "Now the rabble that was among them had a strong craving, and the people of Israel also wept again and said, Oh, that we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt for nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all with this manna to look at." Okay, so let me just give you a little background into this story. So God brought the children of Israel out of Egypt under the rule of Pharaoh. That was, they were being tortured and being maltreated in Egypt. So what happened was, during their journey, when they came out of Egypt, and God was taking them through through the wilderness to the promised land. So the promised land was like a place that was flowing with milk and honey. That was the description. So God was taking them to a place where they were going to inherit fields that they did not own. They were going to inherit houses that they did not build. So there was like a good and glorious vision for where they were going to. So let's go back into our story. So the children of Israel, they came out of Egypt, and they were going. So God gave them, they were hungry at a point, and God gave them manna. That was literally like so food from heaven. And the Bible describes here, it says manna is like coriander seed. So they could boil it, some of them would blend it, so they could do so many things with manna. But God saw a time they wanted something more. So in this Numbers 11 says, and they will start complaining. So they're rambling, we remember what we had. So you see, when you're complaining, what I saw from this story, when you're complaining, you start thinking that your past is better than your present and your future. Lack of vision. You see, these people, rather than, if only they could remember their suffering, in Egypt, but because of food, they forgot it. And that's how it happens sometimes when we begin to complain about things that happen in our lives and our present situation. We think that our past, will definitely be better than tomorrow. And that's why we complain. Because when I was reading this, I was like, is it not true? I do that sometimes. Even I'm complaining, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't even know, the past. You're thinking like, it used to be better before. So when you're complaining, you're just telling God that that your past, is better than, it will definitely be better than your tomorrow. So the children of Israel, because of food, they were thinking, they forgot all their sufferings. So they were thinking like, remember the cucumbers we used to eat. Remember the melon we used to eat. Imagine, they lost sight of where they were going to. That's what Moses would always remind them. You say, you remember the God that took you out of Egypt, and you're going to a promised land, a very glorious place. If only they had the vision of where they were going to, they would have not been complaining at that point because of food. Look at what happened. Moses went and just prayed to God. So when we're complaining, we're showing a lack of faith in our God, and the faith in, our God's, you're showing a lack of faith in the power of your God to do something better for you in the future. So a lot of us, God gave us promises in life. We have so many promises that we're holding on to, that God has given us, where you're going to, and all of that. But while we're complaining at this present time, it's because we're not seeing it. And also because we're not seeing our future. And look at what happened to them. The repercussion was that God was so angry with them that, if only look at where I brought you from. I literally brought you from a place where you were suffering. Brought you, and I'm on this journey to take you to a better place. Rather than you just pray to me, you're like, no, you're just complaining. A lot of times in our lives, you were just complaining because we're not looking onto God. We're not looking onto that our vision that God has given us. It's just lack of vision. So the question for you and I today is, do you see the promise that God has given you? Because faith is described in Hebrews 11 verse 1. It said it's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So you've not seen it. You can't see it physically. Your present situation does not explain. Your present situation cannot even justify what you've seen. You see, but it's like you can see it spiritually. So it's like an evidence for something that is yet to come. That is what faith is. So what am I saying to you today? You see, sometimes where you are would definitely may not be where God is taking you to. But the thing is, understand that it's a journey and God is taking you on a journey. And if you think about it really well, it's definitely better than where you were coming from. So don't forget everything and then start complaining, because you see here, complaining brought the children of Israel, it brought them debts. It may literally not bring us debts, but complaining also cost them, and God was so angry with them. And God said, this generation, until all of them died, before I will take the next generation into the promised land. Sometimes complaining brings delay into our lives. That thing that is meant to have come. But because we're busy not looking at the future, we're looking at now and the past. We keep looking back. The promise that God has given us will get delayed. I pray that your promise and promise that God has given me would not be delayed because of our lack of vision, in Jesus' name. I hope that this blesses you. So have a good time. I hope to see you again. Please do not forget to share, subscribe, like. Please share with people that you think this would help them and benefit them. And I hope that you have a good and fantastic week. God bless you.